I watch pretty bad films as shown by my channel, but I always challenge myself to find more and more of the worst films out there. This past summer, I went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine. No, I'm not here to talk about that film. I actually kind of like that film. However, I went to a small local theater, the type where there's like 2 theaters and you have to choose between 2 things, like one being the big blockbuster or the other being like a Bollywood film that like no one in America has ever heard of, but has like 8 sequels apparently. Anyways, I sat down ready to watch the film for the 4th time, yes, I have no life, and a trailer popped up that I hadn't seen before. It started out looking okay, but as time went on, it got worse and worse, and as it ended, the icing on the cake was the title of the film.
Bad fish.
Yes, Bad Fish. The fact that this film somehow got to air a trailer in a movie theater knowing how bad it is something I can actually respect. So once the film became free to watch, which I assume was instantly, I immersed myself in the Bad Fish universe, and I gotta tell you, it smells pretty bad.
What the hell's going on, Sheriff?
Hi there, it's me from the future, and on the ground. I wanted to say that past me hadn't seen the movie yet, and now that I've seen the movie, I've changed my opinion slightly. Bad Fish is, well, a really bad film, there's no denying that, but this film tried to be good, and I gotta be honest, that's worth a lot in my book. There's some really funny line delivery in this, some honestly decent effects at times, and overall, I just found that this film was actually kind of an enjoy to watch. Not that it was a great film, again, it's not good, the title should not say Bad Fish, it should say Bad Film, but you know, that doesn't matter. This film tried, damn it, and also it takes place in Oregon, Brookings, Oregon to be exact. So, you know, I think that's kind of interesting. Okay, back to me who's now on the floor.
The movie starts out with some beach establishing shots to show us that we are indeed at the beach. This pregnant lady is there going through some painful stock audio. We get more establishing shots as we get a classic horror score. Wait, what the hell is this? I think this film forgot that it's not H2O. Do you remember H2O, that like mermaid movie from the 2000s? No, just me? Okay. Even when the river stops. We meet the sheriff of the town, Skip Porter. He goes to get some breakfast and talks to some locals who are really against eating their breakfast.
Breakfast this morning?
Nope, just coffee.
Oh, he didn't eat it. Should we do another take? No, we're just not going to do another take. Yeah, talk to your friend instead. Tell him that the food you have is really good, even though you haven't eaten it yet. This shot actually wouldn't be that bad if this guy was really far in the background, but the way the shot is framed, it's like he's in the left third of the frame, and it's very obvious you can see him not eat his food. The sheriff then asked those men about the fish.
Not good, Sheriff.
There's no fish.
Well, that can't be.
Yeah, you'd think so, but like he said, there are no fish.
The sheriff doesn't like that and leaves, being followed by another drone. One of the things you can rely on in this film, besides establishing shots and a great score, as we've already established, is the drone shots in this film, because my god, there are a lot of drone shots in this movie. You know, I don't think they were able to afford a helicopter for this movie, but they were able to capture a helicopter in this one shot of the film, which clearly looks like a plane they did not own, but they saw it take off. They're like, oh, get a shot of that real quick, because it's really small in the frame and really far away. They clearly did not have the right lens to capture that shot. And the shot doesn't like mean anything. It's just the sheriff looks up in the sky and is like, oh, look at that, there's a plane. Skip meets up with this man, Bill, who drinks on the job. So much that he didn't realize his men were killed on his boat. But since he was drinking on the job, Skip immediately thinks he killed his men.
Have you been drinking, Bill?
If you drink at all in this film, the sheriff Skip here is going to arrest you because he literally does this any single time he thinks someone is drunk. And the funny thing is both times he arrests people in this film for apparently drinking on the job, he lets them go anyways. So his rule's not very hard and fast. It seems to be a terrible rule, actually. We now follow this old man who's fishing on the beach. Something starts pulling on his line. He yanks it with all his might and pulls up a leg. This guy gives the most authentic reaction of the film.
Oh, shit.
Skip goes to this harbor office and meets a man who must have not been given a script.
What's the situation out there?
So far, nothing. We found that beacon, but no sign of anyone out there.
This other guy comes in with the same quality of acting as the other guy.
Was just heading down to the responder to talk to Bill.
Why didn't he wait for us to get out there?
And really wants to let the sheriff know about the last time a fisherman died.
Earl Green. We never knew they were missing. Took off for Newport and washed ashore about a mile up the coast.
Yeah. When was that?
What, about 10 years ago?
Yep, but almost exactly.
Yeah, and they said something like there was no fish.
We had no salmon around that year.
Right, and that's what the fishermen are saying now, no fish.
Wow, that is crazy. That was a bad year for fish. That was bad fish.
You should talk to that marine biologist.
Also, they never really explain in this film why the fish are disappearing, even though this is, kind of the main thing that gets the story going. Don't get too caught up in the lore like I have, okay? Because trust me, I've gone really deep into this film and the makings of what makes bad fish. In fact, speaking of, I found some behind the scenes on this film from some of the different actors who were in this, shot in this very amazing, green screen backdrop that whoa, it looks like they're really at the coast, but they're not there. That's actually just an illusion. It's the making of film. And there were some funny moments, which if I pulled them, I'll play them for you here right now.
What does Skip know and what doesn't he know? He might not even have the answers. I'm not sure what he knew, what he didn't know, what he might have been in on, what he was not in on.
I didn't know there were different types of mermaids. There were different versions, if you will. And there's subcultures that exist in our world that sort of, are really into mermaids. And that I did not know either.
And this actually led me to finding that the main character in this film, which we haven't met yet, and he has another behind the scenes from a different film that he was in, where he gives a very befuddled answer.
I play the role of Mac in the film. Mac is a guy who's on a journey with 3 other gentlemen, and he's the leader?
So if you are still confused what's going on in this film, like why the fish are disappearing and what's really going on here, Mark Schneider, the actor who plays Skip Porter, gives a very interesting answer.
I'm the sheriff in this film of a small fishing village out on the coast. Much like our daily lives, activities happen around us, and we have a number of choices to make. We can reject what's happening, we can accept it and get involved, pro or con, or we can let things take their course naturally. Because what do I know about what's happening, and what don't I know about what's happening?
I see. And what does the producer think?
How do mermaids procreate?
Oh yeah, that's a much more accurate answer of what's going on here. It took 3 years to make this film and, quote, leans on its steady camera shots, which I thought that was a very interesting quote to describe this film. This film leans on its ability to use a camera and make the shots steady, which, now that I think of it, what scene are they talking about in this film? There wasn't something in this film I watched that made me think, damn, that camera, it was really steady in that shot. They also said that this film was going to come out between July 1st and October 31st, which they were a little off on the year, but I think it did come out between that time, just, a few years later. It cost $200,000 to make this film, and it only made $1,700 in its opening weekend. Don't know how much it made total, but if you made $1,700 in your opening weekend, I don't think you are making, don't know if you're making that $200,000 back. But, and then doing a little more digging, Barbed Wire Media was the production company that did this, and they were also in charge of those behind the scenes. They've done plenty of films with a lot of these actors and the same director-writer, and they've done plenty of low-budget horror films over the years, which honestly look pretty amazing. I might have to watch them sometime. So back in the film, these guys are still doing their best to try to mimic a normal conversation.
Right, Newport Marine Biology Center.
Right guy, wrong place. He's at Ocean World in Crescent City.
Ocean World? Isn't that some kind of kiddie roadside attraction?
Yeah, I guess he got demoted.
The sheriff takes a second to do a GMC sponsorship shot that I'm pretty sure GMC probably didn't want them to do. And this officer points out where they found the leg.
Yeah, right next to that rock outcropping.
I get you're pointing in that general direction, but could you maybe zoom in a little bit to show the exact spot? Oh, hey, it's over there. Right there. You don't see it? Also, I'm pretty sure it was a bad choice to choose reflective sunglasses for the sheriff to wear, especially in these shots, because I can't exactly tell what is being reflected, but I'm pretty sure that is the director or the cameraman who is there. That's actually probably the entire crew, just, one person behind the camera. Because I imagine the conversation went something like this. Hey, I could definitely see my reflection in the sunglasses. Should we reshoot that scene? Oh yeah, no, that's a pretty easy fix. Yeah, let's just reshoot it. Great, this should be easy. We just had to get him and he is gone. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna not do anything about it. So they realize that this is a lot of work to do and they don't want to deal with it. So they have to get a marine biologist who's an expert in this, which, at this point, I don't know why they need a marine biologist. It just seems like someone died in the ocean. Maybe that's what a marine biologist is for. I don't know. I'm not a marine biologist. You know who is a marine biologist, though? John Burton. Who's John Burton, you may be wondering? Well, John Burton is a guy who works at this knockoff ocean world giving tours to all these extras. And apparently he's the only person who can solve this crime. And why was John Burton demoted, you may wonder? Well, he drinks on the job.
All right, you have a good tour.
I will.
Oh no, John, don't do that here. Come on, John. But John Burton does know a lot about starfish, so he clearly is the man for the job.
Lots of different types of sea stars in the tide pool. The larger, more colorful ones are the ochre sea star, and the small, red, slimy ones, those are leather sea stars.
So if you think I've said John Burton's name a lot, I don't think I've said John Burton's name enough. Here's every time in the film they say John Burton's name.
John Burton.
John Burton. My name is John Burton. Welcome to Ocean World.
John, call for you.
Oh, and John Burton says he'll meet you at the beach tomorrow.
John.
Also, a John Burton called, said he's on his way.
John.
Thank you, John.
My boss, John, is.
You must be John.
John Burton.
John Burton, the marine biologist.
John, I do. I really care about you.
John. Hey, John.
Hey, John.
Hey, it's John Burton calling.
John? John what? John Burton?
Hey, it's John. It's John.
John. John?
I'm John Burton.
Yeah, John.
John Burton. John. Have a drink, John. John.
Hey, it's John.
John, I'm really sorry.
John. John, don't you want that, John? Can't you see, John?
There you are, John. You're obviously drunk, John.
Drinking is legal, John.
John, don't.
Hello, John. Don't be mad at me, John.
John?
My apologies. I'm Dr. John Burton. Listen, my name is John Burton.
Easy now, John.
See you at the joining, John. And John?
So we go to the one bar in this movie and we meet these two bartenders. And you know what? I can't wait to learn more about these people. Wait, are we fading away? Wait, didn't we just cut to them? Why are we leaving right now? Don't worry. We are going to learn everything about those people. No, we will. We'll learn more just, in a little bit. We go to the police station where Bill is being interviewed in a room that does not look like an actual police station. I know what a real police station looks like, okay? Remember Sharks of the Corn? The wanted posters really fill out the room. It makes everything just pop a lot more.
How long do you expect to keep me here?
I'm not. So I can charge you with impairment. I'm gonna let you go, Bill.
What? Then why did you say all that other stuff? As he lets Bill go, the press are there apparently, and he makes it a really big deal that they don't want Bill to be seen, and there's just a ton of people out there. And he talks like he's about to go talk to all these major news stations, or maybe at the very least, maybe, I don't know, at least 3 people there. There's only 2 people.
We had an unfortunate event today, this morning. A couple of our local fishermen went overboard.
I do like how this one reporter has a Tascam that they probably use to record the on-set audio. Easier than getting an actual mic. A Tascam, it will do. I mean, it's a fine way. It's just, I've actually never seen a film where a reporter uses a Tascam. Back at Ocean World, John tells Sandy he wants her to go with him to see the dead body. Partially because he likes her, but also because he doesn't have his license because it's been suspended and he can't drive a vehicle. Because remember, John Burton drinks a lot. At the bar, this guy's creepy stares is mistaken for being romantic.
Look who's got an eye for you. Greg.
Hi. And I'm sorry, what is the music in this scene?
I just wanted to say it's nice to see you. It's been a long time. When did you get back?
Just last week.
Oh good, it sounds bad. That's exactly what I wanted. The bartender, Abby, won't date him because he's a fisherman. She doesn't like fishermen. During that conversation, the band figured out how to play music. Hey, get a closer shot of his neck, everybody. Closer shot. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. All right, can everyone be like way too excited to be dancing at a bar? There we go. No one would ever act like this. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Do we own the rights to the song for royalty? Okay. Perfect. Everyone. 100%. The next day, Skip is alerted that these fishermen found part of one of the other fishermen, and everybody is grossed out besides this guy.
I think it's...
I know who it is.
What a weird line delivery. I think it's... I know it is.
Why are you so close to the camera? I'm not too close to the camera.
Hi, I stopped recording for a bit because I realized my hair looked like shit, so now I'm back here. And now I should hopefully look less like I condone. What the hell? So John Burton shows up and just solves the case instantly.
What could do this?
Something mean?
Okay, that's a wrap. I guess we figured it out. They go to the coroner's office to find out more info as Sandy passes out.
As you can see, the top and bottom extremities have been severed.
Oh really, Bilber? Thank you for that analysis. John says it can't be a shark because he's a marine biologist expert. He then stays at the... I can't tell what the sign says. It's completely blown out. Sandy wants to get food, but John is too invested in his giant squid research.
John.
She heads to the bar as I realize the lights in the background are flickering, and if you know anything about, camera stuff, I don't know, maybe those lights do flicker, but it just seems very much like they're not supposed to, and it looks very much like a camera problem. By the way, Abby's actress here, she was in Captain Battle. Remember that movie? No? You don't watch any videos on my channel? Okay. And she only has chips at the bar.
Can I see a food menu? We have chips.
Chips?
Chips. We just have chips.
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 Just chips.
Chips. She also opens up a can of 7-Up, which was already opened. She tells a lot of details about the bodies that no one should know about when John shows up and asks for a rum and Coke.
You know what I can say? I would love a rum and Coke with a lime.
We then get an 18-second sequence of making a rum and Coke. Sandy runs off as Abby tells John that it was mermaids that made the fish go away, and John acts like I do when someone tells me about astrology.
Wow.
John gets up without pain and goes back to the hotel with the blown out sign again. He starts eating Sandy's chips as they get into an argument.
That bartender was a trip.
You really are a dick.
Whoa. Where is this coming from? Oh, you're not jealous of her or something.
I work with you every day. I protect you mostly from yourself. And I do it because I care about you.
Wait, is it only 6:22? Why are they going to bed right now? It's...
You act like you don't have a drop of interest in me.
You know that's not true.
No, it is true. It is true. I'm so stupid. You didn't even thank me for driving you up here. And I fainted. Get her out of here. Yeah. I'm done.
Why'd she say that like that?
I'm done.
John says he is a dick and that he will be better from now on and everything is fine. He even offers her the chips that she got for herself. How lovely. You know, I think this might work out. Then she just dies. And I can't sugarcoat this. The scene where she dies here is nothing short of amazing. Here it is. John doesn't know that she died since he was out fishing with the boys, and they ended up finding a scale. Bill thought it was a shark, but John points out that sharks don't have scales. Marine biologist expert right there. He then calls Sandy with the best voicemail ever.
Leave a message. Sandy, where the fuck are you?
He goes back to the coroner and finds a scale on the body that he would have found if he did any level of investigation, because he finds the scale instantly. Then the bartender Abby comes out of the ocean naked, and this is when we find out that she is a mermaid. And apparently no one sees her get out of the ocean here, which is also the same spot where they found that leg earlier, and also where that intro sequence was. And I'm starting to think that they could only film on this part of the beach. She goes back to the bar where the editor learned some After Effects.
Your eyes.
See, it's not that hard to do. I didn't mask out my eyes, did I? They talk about how John is a marine biologist, and we learn the other bartender is also a mermaid. And I believe Abby's mother, though that's not explicitly said in the film. The next scene we get is my favorite scene of the film. It is just a bunch of random characters who are here for one scene just to find something that, you know, our other characters need to know about. And I'm just going to show you the whole scene because it is hilarious.
The weather is beautiful today to be really weather beside the stars. I am too. I love it to the time. What?
Oh Lord, that's a body!
Meanwhile, John gets a mysterious envelope with a newspaper article about a sailor named Jack Brand. Thankfully, he owns the bar that John went to the other night, so production can save money. And since Sandy has disappeared, John has to get a car from the police officers to drive around now. And they are apparently unaware that John has a DUI. Like, why would the, you know, officers, why would they know that he has a DUI? It's not like they're... And then we get the most intense stair climbing sequence ever. I don't think I'm actually joking on this one. Like, I've never seen a stair sequence climbing up, walking up this intense. We meet Jack Brand, who is played by Ken Carpenter, who has to be probably the most famous person in this film. He tells John a pretty epic story that can only be shown in animation because, I mean, there's no way they could actually shoot this. He says mermaids come to land every 10 years to eat fishermen, and one will try to mate with someone on land to live on land for the rest of land time and land. John gets enough exposition that we can move on. He finally finds out that Sandy died in this extreme slow motion sequence where the officer does a horrible job at stopping him. And then also just people hanging out the beach like there isn't a dead body that was just discovered there. I understand it's emotional for John to see his coworker slash chip fellow lover like he is, and to see her dead body is, you know, obviously devastating. However, it's also kind of funny when they show the body like, yep, that's clearly Sandy, all right. Then John just pukes all over the camera, or I should say the protective barrier on the camera, because they got one camera. They can't ruin the camera. Skip wants John to stay in town, and then he's just had enough.
You need to hire experts or forensic detectives. I'm just a biologist.
You are supposed to be the expert.
But not for this shit. Look, my assistant was eaten. And the only information that I can get around here is from a drunken fisherman and a bartender who keep telling me about fucking mermaids.
So John leaves, and then through a series of drone shots and coastal shots, he just turns around. He goes back to the bar and gets into a fight with Bill.
We need to talk.
We're out of here.
All right, Jeff, get him out of here.
Come on, let's go. Get up. Come on. Let's go, brother.
So she makes John a drink and then spits this green substance into it that knocks him out, I guess. Again, we never really learn you'll never learn what this green substance does to people. It makes them woozy and can maybe knock them out, maybe not. It's called a plot device is really what it is. Before he's knocked out though, they go for a nice walk on the beach where Abby tells John, well, everything that we didn't figure out yet, I guess. She wants to be with John and wants John to give her mermaid babies. Yeah, I guess that's it. She wants his mermaid babies. But she has to go feed right now, so she just leaves John on the beach as the tide might come in and sweep him away. He's not a mermaid, but, you know, who cares? He's just going to sleep on the beach. So she has to go feed, and why not Bill? He was kind of a nasty man the other night. So she goes to Bill's boat. It's kind of sad that she doesn't go to his house. She goes to his boat because apparently Bill lives on his boat. That's kind of sad, actually. But she kills him in spectacular fashion.
What the fuck are you doing here?
John wakes up and nonchalantly goes to his car, and we watch as he puts on his coat.
Do we want to cut here? No? Just keep rolling? I don't see why we need to put this in there. I can do whatever I want. Fine, okay.
The car doesn't start because reasons, and the police are also there because John is arrested because he doesn't have a license, and they didn't know that, which I think is a little bit of negligence on their part, but you know, we're never going to talk about that. There's also this guy in the background who looks like he's managing traffic, almost like they blocked off the street to shoot this one shot. Like, I imagine they're like, oh shit, we need to block off the road for a second. Get the shot. Okay, perfect. We shot the scene, one take. If anything went wrong, we'll live with it. So John is now arrested, and every cop just hates him all of a sudden. So they put him back in that interrogation room, and we get more stellar dialogue.
How's he doing?
Yep. That's not how you respond to that question. So John explains that he's being framed.
She needs to breed, and she needs semen, and she needs it from me. I know, Skip, how it sounds, but I have a PhD.
Now, I know what you're thinking. This makes no sense at all. What the hell is he saying? But he has a PhD, and he's a marine biologist, which means that you gotta trust him. So John is just talking about how he wants his phone call the whole time, and he finally gets his phone call, and he could call a lot of people. He could call a lawyer. He even wants a lawyer. He could call a lawyer, but he thinks, no, what I need to do is call the person who I'm accusing of doing a crime and tell them to confess to that crime so I can get off, because, I mean, they are the ones to explain it, which makes sense, but why would you call someone who wouldn't want to be arrested? They're not going to listen to you, John.
Don't be mad at me, John.
You're gonna see how mad I am at you when I get my hands around your fucking gill neck.
And by the way, does this police station record these calls? Because if they do record these calls, then like she kind of admitted to doing everything that John said she did, which would accuse her of doing crimes. The sheriff is also really bad at telling if someone is drunk.
You're obviously drunk, John. Let's chalk it up to this. Maybe you had a little too much to drink. 0.00 on the breathalyzer, so you're not drunk.
He then just says John is free to go.
I can't get you on driving with a suspended license because I didn't catch you behind the wheel.
Yeah, but the other officer saw him drive the car. We literally saw her stare John down as he went onto the beach. Like, I think that's proof right there. They let John go, not before telling him that one of those fishermen survived and is in the hospital now, and can also prove that John's story is true and not fake, which is kind of weird to tell to a person that you want to leave right now. Like, hey, I want you to leave, but just to let you know, here's a reason to stay.
I'm sorry, Sheriff. I think you have me confused with somebody who gives a shit.
And also, if you're wondering, no, Skip has no idea about the mermaids in this town. Like, he's not covering up for them. He's just completely oblivious to this whole thing, so it's not like he wants John to go there to like catch him. Like, it just doesn't make sense. John convinces his driver to take him to the hospital.
Can you take me to the hospital?
Well, the sheriff said take you to the bus stop.
Benjamin Franklin said take me to the hospital.
Yes, sir, Mr. Franklin.
So he gets there, but how will they know that he's able to go to the room? Like, they're not allowing visitors right now.
He just got out of surgery, so there's no visitors.
Oh, it's my apologies. I'm Dr. John Burton.
Oh, well, in that case, he's in ICU. Just go right down the hall.
Oh, it's that easy. Hey, I'm here. I gotta kill someone. Sir, you can't just kill people. Oh, no, it's okay. I'm a doctor. Oh, you're a doctor? Well, then that's fine. Thanks. John finds a stethoscope and looks like a person at a Halloween party who was supposed to be a doctor but forgot to buy a doctor costume. John finds the room where the guy is in, goes in and asks him if a woman did this to him, to which we see his heart monitor, which doesn't change much, but like it raised like 2 beats, which means that's, you know, that's a fact. You can't disprove that in court. A nurse comes in and finds John and asks him to leave, and there's just no repercussions for this man impersonating a doctor. He just walks out. Though as he walks out through the front of the hospital, he just gets kidnapped in daylight.
Whoa! Get in the truck.
Hey,
Get in the
Jesus
Get
Christ.
in the truck.
Well, all right, man.
He's taken to Jack Brand, who is Abby's father, by the way, and they sit in front of a green screen, which is painfully obvious that's a green screen. And it doesn't help too that I'm pretty sure it's a still image, not even a video. And there's some shots where you can see the green reflecting off them, which, you know, it's kind of sad. So Abby's mother, the other bartender, starts flirting with Jack Brand.
Not as well as you, my sexy serpent.
Oh, knock it off, you dirty little man.
So they knock John out and they bring him to these triangle hut looking buildings, and I'm starting to think that this is just Midsummer with mermaids. Because inside one of these huts, buildings, whatever they are, he's surrounded by a bunch of women, some naked for no reason, as he and Abby are now life partners, and they start having sex. I do like how some of these people are watching this like this is really romantic, like you just saw 2 people get married, but they're watching this. I will say here, the full mermaid design here at the end is actually not that bad looking. Is it what I'd imagine a mermaid to look like? A lizard? No, but it's actually not bad looking. So, you know, this just goes on for a while and it seems like they're having a good time, and then they just start eating John's legs. They never really said why they had to eat his legs, but they just do. Well, I guess some are eating his legs, some are just doing what that cafe guy did earlier. So sometime later, Abby is at the beach suffering from those stock sound effects. Turns out, like that person at the beginning, she has now given birth as well. She puts the baby in the water, who probably drowned instantly. So now we have to tie up all the stories here. So Jack and Phyllis was that other bartender, they're dead now. And they are buried with their very real looking tombstones. And what about Sheriff Skip? What's he up to? Wait, this is the last time we see the sheriff in this film. What's he doing? Why? So John has no legs now, but he does have a beard. And I guess because he's supposed to replace Jack, does this mean that he owns that bar now? And if he does own the bar, how does the sheriff not know about this, that not only did John not leave, but he became the owner of the bar and had his legs torn off? Like, he's gonna have to investigate this. Or like, are you gonna investigate this, sheriff? No, he's not gonna do that. So John just sits in front of the green screen procreating with Abby as the movie ends. What? To be continued? What is there what? And then we get that classic horror score again. And that is Bad Fish. This is a good example of a film that wanted to be good, attempted to be good, and was good because of how bad it was. Every review I could find on this film, which was like 5, pretty much all said the same thing. It's not a good film, but it's not terrible either. It's definitely better than some other films I've seen. Trust me, I've seen some really bad films in my life. Just look at other films I've seen on this channel, my god. Actually, the crazy thing to think about this film is that this is not the only film about mermaid sex made within the past decade. Go watch The Lighthouse if you want mermaid sex. Even when the river stops. So I wanted to conclude this video in front of my very real window that is 100% real and say thank you for watching this. If you want to see more bad, horrible films or just horrible videos in general, go watch my other videos. I'm just going to sit here and eat this chocolate like a normal person would. And I will be here until Bad Fish 2 comes out. So see y'all later.
I wanna lay on these old streets. I wanna stay here for a while.